Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about the things that I'm reading in April. I really want to know what you guys are reading, so if you have a favorite book, please drop it down in the comments and share with me. I'm always looking for book recommendations. And without further ado, let's just hop right into the video. Okay guys, so I cannot start the video without talking to you guys about this book, Atomic Habits. I've been hearing so much about this book, and it's really one of those January type books where you're really trying to improve your life. Atomic, what is an atom? It is the smallest molecule, compartment, particle of life. And so basically this is about tiny, teeny tiny habits. You're discovering the secret to long-lasting habit formation. So you know how we all try to lose weight, and then we lose weight, and then we slip back into old habits, and before we know it, we are right back up to the weight we were before, or whatever it is, whether it be work-related, procrastination, anything. He basically tells you how to kick bad habits and how to live a life that is productive and successful using his techniques. And I can truly say, so when I read this book, I started reading this book in January, and I've been reading it kind of slowly. It really is a step-by-step guide where at the end of every single chapter, he basically shares with you, the law or the rule and how to implement it into your life. I have written all in the margins of this thing. I absolutely have loved reading it because it's basically a blueprint for making your life 1% better. I love that he uses this analogy in the book about how, like, if you are flying in an airplane and the pilot even is 1 degree off in terms of where he's going, then he'll end up, instead of ending up in Washington, D.C., he might end up in Florida, or, that's not the exact analogy, but basically he's saying that teeny tiny diversions from your goals and what you want to do will lead you to vastly different outcomes in your life. And so basically he talks about how these tiny 1% changes can help you to live a better life and have better habits. And it really has helped me tremendously. So I read this book. I started reading this book in January. I have implemented so many of the things. Like, I started waking up at 5 o'clock, 4:45 in the morning. I've always been a morning person, so this is not some huge dramatic change for me. Like, I absolutely pop out of bed. I'm just an energetic person overall. And I know that some people are not morning persons, some people are more night owls. But basically he talks about in the book how, you just have to get your reps in terms of you just have to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And that's going to help build self-efficacy, belief in yourself that you can do something. And it's going to help build your confidence to believe that you can, achieve this. And basically he talks about changing your identity. So you want to basically be not focus on goals, but systems. So your goal might be to lose the baby weight, right? But instead of focusing on the goal, like this magical weight that you're going to be happy about, instead focus on the system, the process, like how are you going to lose the baby weight, and just focus on getting your reps in every single day. And every single day since January, late January, early February, I have gotten up and gotten my butt to the gym every single morning. I've lost 25 pounds almost, and it has been wonderful because it has proven to myself that, like, I have changed my identity. I'm not just mom. I'm also that girl that shows up and lifts heavy in the gym every single day. That's the girl that runs every single morning in the gym every single day. And you show up for yourself and you just keep faking it till you making it with this identity. Like, you don't want to just say, I want to run a 10K, because then after you run the 10K, then your motivation wanes and you're no longer a runner. But if you become a runner, you just wake up in the morning and you say, this is what I do now. This is who I am. Like, I'm that girl that wakes up every morning and goes to the gym. And, in my time of doing this, I have seen so many people, like so many clusters of people. I'm really friendly. And when I go to the gym, I talk to people, and so many clusters of people have come and gone. And it's like 100% turnover. Like, the people who were there in January are not the people who are there now and in April. And it's just interesting to see how, like, we go through these periods of motivation, and then we just quit. Like, I met this girl named Reese, and she was going every morning with her family members. and then they just stopped, you know, and that doesn't mean maybe she went at a different time, but all I'm saying is this book gives you the strategies to focus on systems. How are you going to prove to yourself that you are who you are and you are who you want to be? And so I love this book. I don't want to drone on about it. It's already been 5 minutes talking about one book. But Atomic Habits by James Clear. Please pick this up if you don't. I just randomly got it in Target. It was 30% off, and I said, why not? And honestly, I have loved this book, and I will definitely be referring to it over and over and over again. It doesn't just teach you how to kick bad habits, it also teaches you how to sustain good ones. So pick it up. 2 books I have really wanted to focus on. One thing that I have said over and over again is that I would love to be more spiritual. I am more of a logical. I grew up in the church and I had a lot of religious related trauma growing up, and I do not use the word trauma lightly. I mean, like, legitimate. If I told you about it, it would freak you out. Trauma. And so I have been very hesitant because obviously I have to work through those things before I'm able to really get back into church. And so I basically picked up these 2 books from Ross. They were $4.99 each. One is called A Little God Time for Mothers, and one is called A Little God Time for Couples. And I bought both of these because when I flipped through them in the store, they basically had so many little, it's just 1 page a day. And basically, it basically tells you how to tune into each other, be intentional. Same thing with the kids. Once basically it relates the Bible to practical motherhood advice. And so I thought these were really cute. And every Ross I've gone to, I have seen these. So pick them up at your local Ross. It's 365 days of devotion. I have not been terribly consistent with this, but anytime I think about it, I pick these up and I journal. I use it as like a little writing prompt. Like, it'll talk about giving your worries to God when it comes to worrying about your kids. And then I just write, like, what are my worries? What am I currently worried about? And how can I try to give those to God? So anyway, I do consider myself a Christian. We do have a secular homeschool. We do practice Christianity, however, and we do read the Bible to the kids and pray with the kids and all of that. So anyway, I thought if you guys might be interested, I would mention these. The next book that I picked up was on Amazon. It's called The Brave Learner, and it is by Julie Bogart. And I'm really excited about this. I can't remember who I heard. Actually, I think I just was like looking for homeschool books on Amazon. It is talking about sustaining the magic and the enchantment is the word she uses. Homeschool. And basically how, like, you can't force your kids into being these, into a box. You have to make joy and comfort accessible to your kids in the home. I have not read this yet. I'm reading this month. And so I will come back and let you guys know my thoughts on this. So far, I'm on like chapter 2 or 3, and it's really good so far. It really is. I like it. It's practical. It's very easy to read. And so I'm really interested in if there are any practical tips in here for how I can make my children be braver learners and be a brave learner myself. And one thing that I've already read that it talks about, like, how you do have to be brave to, like, overcome some of the educational boxes that we put ourselves in, and really allow your children to kind of lead the way and have interest-led homeschool. And so I'm really interested to finish reading this. It's very good so far, and I'll let you know how I like it. The next book that I got is called Teaching Writing in Kindergarten. This book has wonderful reviews. Now, let me just preface this by saying I am very much a nerd. Like, I don't just love teaching. I'm not just passionate about teaching. I'm passionate about learning about teaching. Does that make sense? Like pedagogy. Like, I am very passionate about learning about how to be a better teacher, not just teaching a subject. I love teaching, and I absolutely love learning about teaching. So that's what this book is. Basically it's like a teacher's guide for helping your kindergarten learn how to write well, and a structured approach to daily writing that helps every child become a confident, capable writer. The Amazon reviews of this book were incredible. And so I'm really interested because when I bought Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons, the reviews were incredible and my child read incredibly. So I'm really excited to use this book for all three of my kids. I have Alexa, who is already writing sentences, and she's going to be going to first grade, and Charlotte and Wesley, who will be doing kindergarten this year. And so I'm very excited to use the tips that they provide because so many teachers said that their classes of students were able to write very well using these strategies. So I'm excited to jump into that. And I'm also excited to read this one. It's called Math Fact Fluency, an unconventional approach to math facts. You know, usually we're just using the flashcards to learn your basic math fluency. They define fluency a lot more in depth than your average educator might. And what I like about this so far is that it has 60 plus games and assessment tools to support learning retention. So it's not just rote memorization. It's going to be, there's a lot of games in here as well. And I find that my kids really love learning through play and they love games. And so because math intimidates me, I showed you guys the other book that I bought on math. I am learning all about how to be a good math teacher for my kindergartners and first grader. So I'm very excited about this book, and I will let you guys also know how I like it so far. I've been reading it at night, and I have really been liking it. It's opened my mind a lot already to math fluency and how to teach it well. So I'm excited about that. The last book I got is not really a reading book. This is Sight Words and Spelling Workbook, and it's going to be for Alexa. This was from Amazon that I got, and I just wanted to show you guys. This is great practice for just writing sight words, finding them, circle the correct spelling, really focusing on visual discrimination. So as I stated in my last video, we're going to be using Explode the Code for our writing for the most part. And we're also going to be using our nature journals to write daily. And so this will just be another writing supplement, so I don't have to print a bunch of stuff off of Teacher Pay Teacher to keep Alexa remembering her sight words and also how to spell them. And I also have the Evan Moore sight word book, it's spelling, grammar, punctuation book as well. So we're gonna just be using a different page a day, and that way we keep it fun and interesting and not boring, which is always the goal. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the books that I'm reading this month. Nothing fun and fictional, so I will go ahead and tell you guys, in the fall when it gets cool, and in the summer when it is like when I'm at the beach, I love reading fiction. Fiction has always been my first love. As you guys know, we are reading Dory Phantasmagoria right now as a family, as a read aloud. But I'm not reading any fiction right now. So if you have any good fiction books, drop them down below because I will be reading them this summer. Right now, I'm very much in an excited homeschool phase because, as you guys know, if you watch my other videos, if not, go watch them. I basically told you guys that I had taken about 6 months off of homeschooling, put my kids in preschool for those 6 months so that I could focus on mastering breastfeeding for my youngest baby, who is 9 months. And so we did do homeschool all last year before she arrived, and that's when I taught my daughter to read. But then for the last 6 months, we've been doing it in person at preschool. And another reason was because with the pandemic, my kids were so friend desperate, and I was really having a hard time finding any homeschool co-ops that was doing anything. So let my kids join preschool and make some friends, and I don't regret it, but I have missed teaching so much. So I'm really excited to get back to it. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, 25 viewers or however many viewers is out there. Thank you for watching my videos. You know, like I always say, my way is not the right way. It is just my way. But I really do appreciate you being here, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.